Yo, what's going on, guys? It is your host, Lex Black. You're tuning into my show, Midnight Arcade. This is episode 37, and man, it's been a long time. It's been a journey. It's been quite the mountain to climb. I've been busy working on some things, working on some new music here, working on my book primarily. It's the third book in the series of my cyberpunk fantasy trilogy called Neon District. This book is called Influx. It's the big bang of the big bangs. It's the finale of the trilogy. So much work have to put into it, so you guys are gonna have to forgive me. As I've been saying for the past couple of episodes, I'm a one-man band and I've been doing this all by myself, and I'm trying to get everything done. I have a lot of things going on, a lot of creative stuff going on. So anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified for whenever I drop that new heat. You heard? Yes, sir. Today we're going to be tuning into Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 4, and man, I worked so hard all week, especially the last couple of days as of time of recording, to avoid spoilers. So I have not seen anything, maybe one frame, right? But I haven't seen anything else beside that point. I've been refraining from it. So let's get to it, man. We getting straight to it. Here we go. Looks like we have Kawaki. Oh man, this dude has no drip. I'm sorry, he really doesn't, man. I'm sorry. All right, so let's get into it. This is chapter 4, The Awakening. So chapter 3 ended off with a toad being tucked in Boruto's collar, Boruto giving Code the business with Rasengan Uzuhiko, and Code escaping the scene from Konoha, going back to his dimension where the Ten Tails is. And then we saw Boruto do a hand sign, but we weren't sure what it is. So now we're gonna see what it is in chapter 4. So we see Code here teleporting back to the place of the Ten Tails, and he's obviously shaken up quite a bit, and he's looking on the Ten Tails, and now he's thinking to himself. So this is another exposition dump, sort of, I guess. He's saying, but these ones are different thanks to you enhancing them. You need to scrap them while you still hold their reins, or else we'll end up in the worst possible future for everyone. Code's thinking, contemplating over these words. The Ten Tails squirms, and Code goes, here he goes with his idiocy again, guys. How could they be such a threat when their only ability is to devour? Every chapter that Code is involved, he says something or does something very stupid. I got a comment in my last video, someone saying, oh, you shouldn't be calling Code stupid without reading the whole chapter. Meanwhile, the video was about me reading the whole chapter and then finally assessing at the end of it, coming to the conclusion that Code is really not that smart. And he, time and time again, this man continues to prove me right. We'll read on. Now Code is grabbing his stomach, his body, or whatever have you, and then we see a panel of the toad on Code. And then the toad is communicating with Boruto, saying, hurry Boruto, there's no time to spare. And Boruto says, could you be quiet for a second? I'm not as deft at this as Grandpa. Deft at what exactly? Let's find out. Kawaki's looking on. Who the heck is he talking to? Kawaki wonders. Boruto, there's a blink bubble there, and then Boruto says, gotcha. And then the handshake fly. Part of me's crying inside because I wanted Naruto to have the flying Raijin, the Thunder God Jutsu. I wanted him to have it, but he might still. You never know. Okay, so anyway, this is Boruto's story. Let's stick with that. He uses the flying Thunder God Jutsu and boom, teleports right to the dimension where the Ten Tails is. Code, not expecting it at all, of course, is surprised. Boruto pops up, gives him that look again. Code says, Boruto, how'd you... And Boruto looks down at the Ten Tails. Code says, oh, excuse me. Boruto says, hey, where's the Ten Tails? The toad is shocked. What's going on here? The toad goes, how can this be? I swear it was just down here. And Boruto kind of looks at Code. And Boruto then takes a look at the tree. Then the toad says, it's highly unlikely Code moved the beast. He made no suspicious movements, nor does he currently have the capacity to do so. I don't know if you're talking about capacity as in chakra and the ability, or capacity, right? I think it's this. What is this toad? Code says, or he wonders to himself. And then another character appears to pop up out of nowhere. Boruto picks this up, and it looks like some sort of like alternate version of Bug with the Rinnegan. Okay. Boruto said, damn it, it's too late. Code turns around. He's unsure of what it is. Bug, is it? No. Now we're getting to the good stuff here. So the chakra trees that the Ten Tails turn into, remember in a couple chapters back, one of the unnamed shinobis that pushed Sarada out the way when one of the Clawgrimes was about to attack Sarada, he got bitten by the Clawgrime, and as soon as the Clawgrime sunk its teeth into the guy, it turned into a tree. And then when they inspected the tree, Sarada deduced that this guy is still alive, and the tree is, I don't know if it's sucking chakra from him, but now we're getting some more answers, because apparently Bug got bit by a Clawgrime and Bug turned into a tree. Now he's in suspended animation, and now there is a clone or 10-tail iteration or Clawgrime, more specifically, a Clawgrime iteration of what Bug is, but with the Rinnegan, and probably imbued with God knows what kind of power. So Boruto says, by Bug, are you referring to that guy who's become a tree behind us? Code looks at Boruto, because that ain't Bug. That creature in front of us, Boruto says, is a divine tree. The implications on that, lordy oh lordy. Code doesn't even know. This is why Boruto was saying, yo, last chance, man. Undo what you've done, because it's only gonna get worse. And Code, in his arrogance and stupidity, was like, nah, son, I got this under control. How could they do anything but what I want them to do? Basically was what he's saying. And Boruto was like, facepalm, idiot, how could you? And look, what are you talking about? Code asked. This divine tree version of Bug with the Rinnegan blitzes Boruto, and he connects and kind of gives him the business. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, okay. Boruto blocks it or something. Okay. And it's talking to him now. Interesting. Have you come to offer up yourself to be devoured? Otsutsuki Boruto. And then Boruto weaves some hand signs. Ooh, that looks like a Raiton jutsu. Shocks the hell out of him. Nice. Good move. Pushes the Bug clone back, or the divine Bug back. Let's just call him divine and then Bug, and then yeah. So you guys get the point. And he shoots some sort of jutsu at him that looks to devour Boruto, and clamp. And he's shocked because he didn't connect, and just like the legend OG God body himself, Minato Namikaze, Boruto used what? Flying Raijin. And he did it to perfection. Perfect timing. Good move. Code is shocked. Divine Bug says, tricky little jutsu. Code is struggling with Rasengan Uzuhiko still. And he says, what's up with this thing? Tell me now. And then he drops to the floor. Boruto looks at him, and then I hope he doesn't undo Uzuhiko. But Code seems shocked. He did. Oh, come on, Boruto, man. So Boruto says, I've rescinded the Uzuhiko. Get up and prepare for enemy attack. There's no time to explain right now. Help me if you don't want to die. Code, you can't. Anyway, so Code is at a loss for words. He's thinking it over. He's probably feeling the instant relief of the Uzuhiko being rescinded, and Divine Bug is looking on with his Rinnegan. That's just crazy. What happened to Ten Tails? You say it's related to Bug getting devoured and becoming a tree? Says Code. Boruto says, not just Bug. This involves others too. Everyone who's been turned into a tree. Code stands there. And then another divine being just arrives out of nowhere. Chakra, the divine being says. Would you look at that? Boruto with his left eye and Code with his right eye, and they're kind of covering each other's sixes, if you will. But Code didn't agree to fight yet, and I don't trust that little dude. So anyway, Boruto turns around, and this divine one says, all life on a planet, both current as well as past and long dead. We divine trees exist to suck the chakra out of all living things and form a chakra fruit. At least that was the original, at least that was our original driving instinct. So this is what Boruto was basically alluding to. Now, I don't know what the writers are gonna say as far as Boruto having seen into the future, but it's been heavily speculated in the Boruto Naruto community, post time skip and pre time skip with the Jogan and so on and so forth, that Boruto has had some sort of glimpse into the future if he hadn't been fed some sort of like really critical and detailed intel from somebody else. All things point to him being able to use the Jogan to see into the future, or rely on Momoshiki if he can to some degree to get some intel about what's happening in future events. So this is why he's been saying what he's been saying to Code, like, bruh, just undo what you do. It's going to get bad. Just trust me, it's going to get bad. Like, just hear me out. Of course he did. And now we have these divine beings with the Rinnegan. So, as he says, at our original driving instinct, Code is at a loss for words, but Code, I guess this divine being's talking to him, we appear to have evolved a bit, thanks to you awakening self-awareness in us. Just like, you know, in the Terminator series, when the AI becomes self-aware and they decide, oh, you know, I just want to eradicate everything that isn't machine and cull them into heal, cull the humans into heal, and, you know, run them through the ringer and make them basically go extinct. Like, this is kind of the same thing, except with chakra and divine beings and 10 tails and tailed beast and so on and so forth. This is bad. Now this one looked kind of like Jigen. I don't know how that was managed. Maybe his spirit was inherited in the 10 tails somehow, or his will, or whatever it is. I don't know. It's not a good look. And then we also got to consider, I'm not a power scaler, but, you know, at this point, oh shit. Okay. So Code is shocked. Boruto isn't. And then another one pops out of nowhere and says, poor Code, it seems to be your inescapable fate to be. What have I been saying this whole time? Even the characters in the story are calling this dude a clown. That person that left a comment on my last video better apologize to me. Who ends up, okay, so it seems to be your inescapable fate to be a clown who ends up being used by someone else. Almost laughable. Code says nothing. What can you say? Honestly, when the thing that you've been cultivating outsmarts you and starts calling you a clown, or starts ragging on you. Ugh. But funny enough, it's like the teapot calling the kettle black, at least on appearances, because this divine being looks very much like a court jester. So yeah, self-awareness, yeah, you might have some, but you might need a little bit more, because you kind of look exactly like what you're calling Code. In his defense, respectfully, the Toad says this is a bad situation. Time to retreat, Boruto, to regain our footing. Boruto then picks up another being. Okay, so this one pops out of nowhere and Boruto gets a good look at it. What he sees, we can't see what he sees yet, but from the panel, it looks like it's pretty bad. Looks like it's pretty bad. So it's back at Konoha. Shikamaru says he suddenly vanished somewhere. Does this mean that he mastered space-time ninjutsu? To Kawaki. Kawaki says, I have no clue how he did it, but Boruto vanished after Code fled, as if he were chasing him. Shikamaru says, so you're saying Code was the only reason Boruto came to Konoha today? Kawaki says, there's also a chance that Boruto and Code are linked. Before he disappeared, Boruto seemed to be talking to someone. It better not be someone in the sensory unit. Shikamaru counters and says the content of all sensory unit mind transformations are being monitored. I'd know right away if anyone was being a spy and helping Boruto. Sarada walks in and says, how ridiculous. It's a lot simpler than that. Now, what does Miss Genius Sarada have to say? Code attacked Konoha and Boruto drove him away. That was obvious from their convo. Please ask Ada to confirm it. Smart. She's not going to just come in and make claims without providing some factual evidence to back up her claims. Shikamaru can get behind that because he's that kind of guy. Hopefully. Let's see. Kawaki. You just don't get it, Sarada. Boruto's an Otsutsuki. No matter his motives, he's an enemy that needs to be killed just for being Otsutsuki. Yeah, we know. Sarada says that's real rich coming from you. Another Otsutsuki. That's exactly what I was thinking. There you go. She's sharp on her feet. She's witty, just like her mom and her pop. Kawaki says, do I really have to say this again? I'm an Otsutsuki killing Otsutsuki. My powers only exist to kill other Otsutsuki. Okay, sure, buddy. Once that's done, I'll be happy to off myself. Until then, I'll do whatever it takes. Got that? Sarada says, and yo, I like her, man. And she says, and I'll repeat myself. I won't let you have your way. And Konoha, as a shinobi who aims to become Hokage. Now, if that ain't foreshadowing to a future conflict in the immediate or at least near future, I don't know what to tell y'all. That's telling me a lot right there. I love her attitude and she doesn't back down. That's what's up. I love it. Shikamaru says, both of you, that's enough. Unless you want to piss off the current Hokage. Guys, can we talk about this, man? Shikamaru can't. Sarada will probably one-shot him. Kawaki will definitely crush him. So what is he talking about here? So they stop talking. And to me, they're looking at him like, yo, wait, hold up. You serious? Because that's what, if I were one of them, I'd be like, yo, is he? Nah, he gotta be joking, man. Cause you, of all people, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, Shikamaru says, so what's up with these trees mentioned in the damage report involving the clog rhymes? Are they trying to create a forest?
Oh, you trying to be funny?
Sarada says, I'm not sure, but at the very least, the entrapped victims are still alive. And to me, my spidey senses are tingling and they're saying, that is a key point. This is something that she deduced a couple chapters ago. And I think this is going to be an important theme going forward, but let's check it out and let's read further. There might be some way to save them, some more foreshadowing. Okay. Based on what I overheard, my impression is that Boruto knows something. Shikamaru says, and that's why he's chasing after Code? Sarada says, regardless of Boruto's true motives, there's no doubt that he and Code have a hostile relationship. So since Code is a threat to Konoha, we should consider collaborating with Boruto to take down Code. Logical. But with the Shinjutsu in place, I don't know if it's gonna go over with those two in the office, but we'll see. Flashback over to the dimension where the Ten Tails is, and now with the divine beings, we have the divine bug, divine clown girl, divine court jester, but she kind of looks like Moigi, or how do you pronounce? Correct me in the comment section, guys. Divine Jigen? Or divine Ishiki, and divine mystery guy with the hood. So Code asked the divine beings, so you're self-aware, divine trees? Boruto's looking on and locking in on the one with the hood and the emo style, and I kind of have a gut feeling of who it is, but let me confirm by reading on. Boruto unsheathes his blade. The toad asked, what are you doing, Boruto? Our surprise attack failed. You need to leave now. And look at that, without a moment's notice, within a nanosecond, the one that Boruto was about to pull his sword on teleports right to them, using whose ability? Code's teleportation ability. In a blink of an eye, he's right in front of him, ready to attack. Code is looking on like, what the hell's going on here? And this divine being looks very much like, let's see. So he attacks. Code and Boruto brace for impact, or they attack, and then we, oh no. Oh no. What does that look like to y'all? That looks like Chidori, excuse me. Boruto uses a Rasengan. They both clash. The big explosion. Commotion takes place. Divine Ishiki looks on. Divine Moigi looks on. Divine Mystery Being and Boruto, they kind of negate each other. Divine Bug comes out of nowhere, tries to use the same jutsu on Boruto. Boruto is swinging his sword to counter it. Divine Bug catches it. Divine Bug then uses, Divine Moigi uses a jutsu that looks like an earth-based jutsu. Again, these are, of course, this is the manga, so it's hard for me to determine some of these things. Looks like a Dotone release. The toad yells, Boruto, and Divine Moigi looks on at Boruto, and then Boruto says, Code, lend a hand, you're gonna be killed too. Code hesitates, and then he says, seems like they'll devour you on their own, to become a full divine tree without me doing anything. Why did foolish Boruto think he could depend on this man? But anyway, Code says, it is an unforeseen development, but it works for me. I feel like a load is off my shoulders. Naive Boruto, because that's some straight naive shit right there, yells, Code, damn it. Toad says, enough, Boruto, you need to get out of here. Remember, if you die, it'll be all for naught. Boruto looks on at Divine Ishiki, who's simply looking down at the situation. That guy unnerves me even more than the other divine being of whose name I won't mention until I get confirmation. Then Boruto uses Flying Raijin and disappears. And Divine Ishiki says, you were lucky, Otsutsuki Boruto. Our self-awareness having just awakened, overflowing curiosity and thirst for knowledge are still surpassing our instinctual drive to devour you. Plot armor. Anyway, so run where you will, but no matter where you go, know that you can never escape your destiny. Howling words from the divine tree, divine beings. Boruto finds himself under a divine tree, and he's thinking about all the events that transpired, looking at his headband, and someone walks onto the scene. Don't ever be that rash again. Are you trying to destroy this planet? And Boruto says, sorry, I panicked. I love this. This is great. Kashin Koji, the man himself, has resurfaced, and he says, I'm not trying to console you, but you knew there was a high chance of this happening, and it doesn't really change anything. We still must fight. Boruto looks up and he says, Sorry, you'll have to wait a bit longer. Sasuke. End of the chapter. There's a lot to unpack here. And honestly, it's going to take for episode 38 for me to break down everything that I just read right now. So that explains the mystery divine being with the emo style hoodie, claw grind attire thing. That was Sasuke. It's confirmed. He used Chidori. He looked just like him. I wonder how Sasuke got like that. But there's a silver lining here. He's still alive. Evidenced by what Boruto said, evidenced by what Sarada said. These people who have got bitten by the claw grimes, and the claw grimes turned into divine trees, these people are trapped in the trees, are still alive. And there's a chance to save them. So that's what we're going to be looking for, and that's what Boruto's going to be looking for. But now I'm wondering, what's Boruto's true motive? Just to save Sasuke? And then what? But now all the motives kind of converge into one, because in order to save Sasuke, you're going to have to beat all those divine beings. And once you get rid of them and you get rid of Code, 2 for 1, you got to get rid of all them cats, then you're probably, your chance of success of reviving Sasuke and getting rid of him being trapped in that divine tree is highly likely, or it appears to be, right? There's another theory that I find very, very interesting. So, you know, as it stands, Boruto is the main guy now for the Naruto-verse. And the writers did what they needed to do to not kill off the main big dogs, because they know how much they're loved and revered and how much work they put in, but to kind of put them on the sideline. And they needed a justifiable way to put them on the sideline without the fans questioning why they're on the sideline. Naruto's in an alternate universe in Kawaki's universe. Suspended animation, out of the fight, inactive. Dead? No. Inactive? Yes. Inaccessible? Yes. But alive. Now Sasuke. I wonder if they're in some sort of alternate dimension. Probably, because with the kind of danger that Boruto has incurred in his life and how it's been for the past couple of years, he would need to be somewhere where not many people can get to. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know if that's the case. We'll find out in the next chapter, or maybe we'll find out a little bit before then. I'm going to check the community and see what's going on and kind of get see what people are talking about, some theories, whatever have you. But yeah, man, it's kind of ending on a somber note, because I'm pro big dogs. I've always been. And to see Sasuke packed up like that, man, nah, man, that ain't right. That ain't right. But I get what the writers are doing. They're sidelining the big dogs, the beloved characters, so that the young man can shine. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. For those of you who've been following my channel for as long as it's been around, which has been a couple of years now, y'all know I've been one of the biggest detractors of the Boruto series. And it wasn't really until shit really hit the fan and he had to really grow up and he really had to come to, is when I started having some serious respect for him. And now with all these things going up against him, you know, I have even more respect for him. The young man is doing everything he can with whatever he has, with whatever tools he has at his disposal. And I think it's very comforting that Kashin Koji is there. And it's also very strange in a good way, the alignment. Look at how life and history repeats itself. Jiraiya was Naruto's OG sensei and beloved adoptive, you know, parent, if you will, in a way, and godfather, and so on and so forth. And then we have Kashin Koji paralleling that, you know, for different reasons, but he's you know, rocking with another Uzumaki. The bloodlines, they can't get away from each other. Their destinies are intertwined through different life forms and different lifetimes and different threads of destiny and fate. Pretty poetic stuff, you know, pretty awesome. There's so much to unpack here, and I can't do it on this episode because I've already stretched it on long enough. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my reaction to chapter 4 of 2 Blue Vortex. Tune into chapter 38. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I drop that new heat. You heard? Yes, sir. We are done, and we got a lot to talk about. See you next time.